If someone gets to that point in life, like I was, you really don't care what happens anymore. I had a nice car and some savings built up, but I was tired of it all. I found society to be a sham. Very few will have happy lives, and hard work only goes so far in reality. And that was said by Trey Sesler. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we will be discussing the case of Trey Sesler, who was the YouTuber who became a serial killer. So Trey was born on August 3rd of 1989. His parents, Lawton and Rhonda Sesler, were married for 34 years. At the time, she worked at the Waldorf Time, and his dad was a teacher at Robinson Elementary in the Cy-Fair Independent School District, and actually grew up in Waller. He had more than 30 years of teaching experience. He made the difference in lives of hundreds of students during his career. This man was a pillar. He was a spotlight teacher. In 2000 and 2006, he was selected for his outstanding contributions as a teacher. A neighbor of the family actually describes the whole family as homebodies, who were people who actually were so normal that she just thought of them as people who like to decorate during Christmas. A lot of neighbors and family members and people that are close to the family just describe his parents as very loving and supportive parents. They were also very active in the community, so you could say that from the outside they actually looked like a pretty normal family. So Trey Eric, who was 22 years old at the time, was accused of killing his parents and his brother. Trey was a YouTuber who used to call himself Mr. Anime and was mainly known for his reviews. So in his internet life, he was a very straightforward kind of guy. He wasn't like other people on the internet who are always trying to look happy and faking their opinions. He really would just tell it as it is, which is pretty amazing, and it was so different from what people especially in the anime community were used to back then. So you could say that the fact that he was so straightforward had a great contribution in his YouTube career. However, as time went on, he started showing signs online that his vanity was slipping. Basically, he was just posting and talking about his intense research on serial killers, killing animals, using real guns in his videos, doing videos about guns. But apparently he had been showing signs since that he was not okay since he was younger. For example, when he was 13, you could say he was kind of like in that rebellious stage, which is normal for all of us, of course, teenagers who could deal with them. Except that in this case, that stage also implied that he wanted to try some extreme things. Like he was planning to shoot a friend, and he had such a malicious plan for just a simple 13-year-old. Like he was planning to call 911 about a shadow. He was planning on hiding in the woods, steal the gun from an officer, and shoot his friend. Luckily, his plan did not work. Now, in his adult life, it is unclear how he was making money for some of the purchases that he was doing for his channel, because monetizing your videos was a little bit different back then. And also he was a person who really struggled to hold down a job, and one of the reasons he really struggled with holding a job was because he had an issue with drugs and alcohol. Now, fast forwarding, the murders of his parents were discovered on a Tuesday. The police actually found the bodies of his parents and his 26-year-old. And at the time, Trey was nowhere to be found. So basically, the police had to start hunting for him. until they finally found him in his friend's house in Magnolia. Now, Trey was not a person that had a previous criminal record, but a family member from his dad's side actually describes him as a pretty strange person. She said she wasn't going to tell anything to his parents, especially his dad, but she thought of him as someone that acted very peculiar. But because his dad was such a private person, she actually never discussed anything with him because he wasn't like the type of person to actually initiate the conversation. So she was like, you know what, why initiating it myself? And to be honest, at least to the internet at the beginning, he appeared to be such an okay, normal person. For example, under his Facebook page, it says, "I'm Trey, no nicknames or anything. I really like to take it easy and have a nice time. I'm really interested in my education as a college student, and I am really excited about graduating in a few years. I plant things, for example, in the spring I like peppers and strawberries. My car is currently the most exciting part of my days. Nice to meet you though. Take it easy." I mean, it sounds like a pretty normal person to me, am I right? Sounds like someone who is almost looking ahead to their future and accomplishments. Now, he grew up in a very small town, so it was one of those towns where you grow up and you try to leave it and better yourself, or you basically just get a job and you die there. So his dad was always pushing him to do better, which Trey may not have seen it with the best of intentions, to be honest. But at some point, they even gifted him a house that was from his dead grandparents. It was said to be a pretty normal or bigger place, you could say. So he basically had the space to do a lot, to do whatever he wanted with the house and with the space. But instead, he decided just to use his house, just to drink and do drugs. He was the type of person who was constantly worried about his image and how he looked. But to be honest, he had pretty bad hygiene issues. Now, it is obvious that Trey needed help in so many ways, and it is sad that he didn't stick to a realistic plan to better himself, and instead he decided to shoot his mother 4 times, then proceeded to shoot his dad while he was sleeping. And it is said that his brother, who actually caught him in the act, survived the first shot, but Trey decided to knock down the door and killed him. On the other hand, he told one of the investigators that the only reason he decided to kill his family was because he was planning a school shooting and did not want his family to have to face it. Trey is now 31 years old, and while there are rumors that he died, he is still listed as an active inmate by the Texas Department. Some other people believe that he was put to death, but instead he was put to life in prison. And his YouTube channel was actually terminated just last year in September of 2020.